Well, for today's escape to the country, we've come to a lake that so inspired one set of parents they named their Nobel Prize-winning son after it. But who was he, and where are we? Well, as ever, join me in just a few moments, and I'll tell you. On today's show, we're helping a couple of recent retirees find a rural retreat. But it will mean downsizing, and that could be hard getting used to.
The room itself, to me, just feels a little bit small.
But at another of our properties, the emotions are running high.
How about that? I don't think I've ever had a reaction like that as quickly as we've come into the house.
Well, today we're in Staffordshire, and this is Rudyard Lake. Back in 1863, one John Lockwood Kipling and his wife Alice were so inspired following a visit here, well, they named their son after it. Now, the lake itself is about 2.5 miles long. It was built to supply the growing network of canals here in the Midlands, but in 1846, the North Staffordshire Railway bought it and the land around it and constructed this railway line. But the good news is that the railway still works, doesn't it, Mike? It does. Right then, all aboard. The landlocked county of Staffordshire is situated in the West Midlands and is neighbour to 6 other counties, including Shropshire and Worcestershire. The north of the county takes in part of the Peak District National Park, home to the craggy gritstone rocks and heather-covered Staffordshire moorlands. These red-tinged formations run for 2 miles along the crest of an escarpment, and from here, views over the rest of the county stretch as far as the eye can see. In the south lies the market town of Tamworth, with its historic Norman castle overlooking the River Tame. The castle's motte or mound is the second largest in the country after Windsor. Another architectural landmark graces the city of Lichfield, birthplace of Samuel Johnson. Its 800-year-old Gothic cathedral is one of the finest medieval examples in England. Whether it's national parks or national treasures, Staffordshire's rich heritage certainly speaks for itself. Now, whenever we do come house hunting here in Staffordshire, I'm often left wondering why it is that not more people choose to escape to this part of the world, because not only is it beautiful, as you can see, but it also offers some fantastic value for money. When you consider that the average detached property here at £207,000 is a cool £48,000 below the national figure. Now, of course, as always, you can spend more if you want to, particularly in the villages of Leek and Longmoor up in Staffordshire's Peak District. All good and useful information for today's buyers who are determined to make this part of the world their new home. For the past 20 years, Peter and Christine have lived in the town of Cramlington in Northumberland. But having both recently retired, they're keen to start a new chapter in their lives.
This area, at the moment, we've lived here for nearly all our lives. Born, christened, married here. But southeast Northumberland is becoming quite urbanised, I would say.
Industrialised.
And industrialised.
Christine was a head teacher and Peter a self-employed gardener. Their 2 grown-up children live down south, and that's the main reason for their choice of location.
We would like to move mainly to the Midlands, preferably on the Shropshire-Staffordshire border. We have family in the area, but the countryside's lovely around there.
But a recent addition to the family has given them the impetus to move now before they miss out.
We've always wanted grandchildren, everybody does, don't they? And he arrived last October, and he's absolutely a dream. But he's growing and changing so much. I just want to see each individual change in him, really.
And there's also someone else who'll benefit from the move, Barney the dog.
The reason we have Barney living with us now is the fact that my daughter moved accommodation, and in her new accommodation, pets were not allowed, so Barney had to stay with us. Was not planned, but we do appreciate him. The sort of space we would like to have is the fact we could just walk out into the countryside and walk along country lanes.
Peter and Christine will be downsizing from the 6-bedroom property they currently live in. But the new house will need enough space for entertaining.
I think all our married life we've enjoyed a social life. We like entertaining in the house. We've had quite a lot of impromptu barbecues where friends come. Although we're downsizing, I really don't want to downsize too much that we haven't got the downstairs space to be able to say, you know, welcome, here's a drink.
Although they've both retired, they're not the sort of people to put their feet up. Christine is a keen golfer and Peter a rugby man.
It's been part of my life for as long as I can remember. I first started playing when I was 11-year-old at school, progressed through at university and then onto club level and became a qualified coach at level 2. I wouldn't be adverse to taking on another coaching job if there was a rugby club in the area close to where we're moving.
But first, there's the money issue to tackle.
The maximum budget for the move would be £400,000.
Peter and Christine's son lives in Stow-by-Chartley in Staffordshire and their daughter is in Shrewsbury, so we're concentrating our property search within easy reach of both of them. I've come to meet them on Staffordshire soil to find out more about their dream house.
Now, your move, Peter, interests me because this is only the second time in your entire life that you've bought a house.
It is. I was born in a farmhouse at East Hertford in Cramlington in 1945 and I moved in 1991.
So you were there how long?
7 years.
47 years. So is this going to be an easy one to agree on when you're looking for your new house?
I think it is. We've discussed it for quite a while and after we've discussed things, Christine usually tells me that it'll be OK, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, Christine, you can tell us a bit more about the kind of property that you are looking for.
We'd like something detached, something with a bit of character.
Yeah.
Don't mind if it's old and new.
Mm-hmm.
Not overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
Kitchen diner.
Yeah.
Log burner.
Yeah.
3 bedrooms en suite. What would be nice?
3 bedrooms en suite. Even he's raised his eyebrows.
No, 3 bedrooms, 1 en suite.
OK, yeah. And if it didn't have one, you'd put one in?
Yes.
Happy to do a bit of, upgrading if need be?
Yes.
If the price was right, if it was the lower end of our budget, yes.
Yeah.
If it's the upper end of the budget, we want everything to be OK.
So 3 bedrooms, 1 en suite, kitchen diner. What about outside, Peter? Because that's your domain, isn't it?
Yes, I would like a garden, roughly half an acre garden, to keep me occupied during my retirement.
Well, it is a lovely day. Let's go house hunting.
OK.
For a maximum budget of £400,000, Peter and Christine want a detached property with character. It has to include a large kitchen diner, 3 double bedrooms for when the family come to stay, and one of those should be an ensuite. Peter would also like a large garden, up to half an acre in total. We've found 3 fantastic properties to show Peter and Christine, but I won't be revealing the prices until the end of the house tours. Our third offering is our mystery house, which could really challenge Peter's gardening aspirations. For our first property, we're heading to the village of Millwich in the heart of Staffordshire's farming community. The closest settlement for amenities is in the market town of Stone, some 4 miles away. It's known as the food and drink capital of Staffordshire due to its extensive range of restaurants and cafes that line the town's main street. And the Trent and Mersey Canal runs through the centre, making it a popular stopping-off point for boating tourists. Our first house is just a 10-minute drive away.
Well, we thought this was an appropriate one to start with. An old farm worker's cottage.
Yes, it looks very interesting from the outside.
I mean, it is obscured by this huge hedge. There was originally, I'm told, a gate there. Thinking ahead to what you might do when you retire, you could drop the hedge, put the gate back and reveal the front of the house as it probably would have been.
I like the porch at the front.
Yeah.
I like the brickwork. And I think opened up, it's a nice size. And I love the chimney stack.
Yeah, well, they reveal the presence of some fireplaces, which is nice. You also get this strip of land behind me, which is quite overgrown at the moment. Plenty to keep you busy. So I'm hoping this might feel a little bit like home, even though we're coming quite a long way from the northeast.
Yes, it might well do, yes.
Let's go and have a look, come on.
The entrance to this former farmhouse is further up the lane and down a long driveway, offering a glimpse of the views that lie beyond. Originally a 2 up, 2 down, the front of the property dates to the 1850s, before a back extension was added 50 years later.
Come in, grab the door, Peter. Little sort of music hallway there. And then this is the living room. And there was silence.
I like the floor. I like the fireplace.
Yes, that works.
The wood doors as well.
Yes, they are original to the house, actually. They just had them stripped.
Right.
So nice bit of character there.
And the room itself, to me, just feels a little bit small.
Okay, so we're on the road to downsizing.
Yeah.
Peter's not so sure.
I think it's because you're coming from a dining room, lounge,
Living
a
room.
long...
It'll take a bit of getting used to.
But you did want a nice big kitchen diner.
I do.
Have a look at this one. There you go, Christine. Very much the kind of country feel, yeah. And I'm hoping that this might make up for the perceived lack of space next door, because I think you'd probably spend quite a lot of time in here. They've knocked out the wall here, creating this huge space, and I just love the texture of it. I love the pine, I love the painted brickwork.
It feels homely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I hope to get the son and daughter-in-law and the little ones and my daughter and her family. I like family Christmases and meals.
Now, you did talk about possibly putting on an extension to a property, maybe even this one.
We've got a conservatory, but I'd love a garden room.
Well, funny you should say that, because look at this one. This has been relatively recently done, and that's what it gives you.
Oh, what a view.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah?
Yes, I like the wood.
Granted, none of these rooms are particularly massive, but there are plenty of them.
But you see, this gives us the extra room. It gives us the light so we can sit in, we can look out, the family can come.
The two things about this room that appeal to me are the wooden finish they've done with it is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And the view out of the window.
Well, you wanted to see Staffordshire, there it is.
Yeah.
Good, so it's growing on us.
It's growing,
Yes,
definitely. It has made a big difference.
Good, all right then. How many bedrooms did we say, roughly?
3 minimum.
3 minimum.
Okay, let's go upstairs. Follow me.
The garden room has lifted the spirits, and Peter and Christine may be further enlivened by the utility room off the kitchen, giving them some extra space. Upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms, all of them doubles. 2 of them overlook the front of the house and are serviced by a family bathroom. And then there's the master.
So this would be yours. Come on in.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Nice size.
Very nice.
Now, the other key ingredient was the ensuite. That is in there, and it's enormous. This house is very deceptive. Poke your heads
Wow.
in. Bath and shower.
Walk in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Walk-in wardrobe as well. Loads of room.
Yes. Very nice.
So, is our property 1 growing?
It's growing all the time.
It's certainly grown since the first room. Yes. Maybe I'm getting used to downsizing now.
Well, you know, you did say when we came in, it is the big challenge that you've got to face.
Yes, that's right.
Although Peter and Christine will have to get used to downsizing inside, the garden gives them a lot more than they have at the moment. In addition to the strip of overgrown land at the front of the property and the lawn either side of the driveway entrance, there's even more land out the back. 1.5 acres in total.
There's the garden room, which I think has been done really, really nicely, actually. And the door out from the kitchen. And then the bulk of the garden that I suppose you'd probably have most fun in. So let's consider how much this is on the market for. Peter?
I think 360.
360, yeah? Maybe a bit optimistic. Go on then, Christine.
420.
£420,000 it is not. 425,000 is the asking price on this one, I'm afraid to say. Yeah, but, you know, I suspect, you know, sensible offers, as ever, do get sensible answers. It's only been on the market 3 weeks, so it's got a way to go. Go on, have an explore. Try out the rest of the garden. See what you might do with it. You're the one with the green fingers.
Okay.
And I'll catch up with you later.
Okay, thank you.
Priced at £425,000, although our first property is over Peter and Christine's budget, it does give them everything they've asked for and requires very little work. It's a Victorian farmhouse which has been renovated by its current owners, retaining many of its original features. The living area includes a spacious kitchen diner and an oak-framed garden room. There are 3 double bedrooms and a variety of garden spaces to keep Peter happy, with fantastic views of the surrounding Staffordshire countryside.
When I first came into the lounge, I thought it was small. But then you have to think, forget the house you're in. You're downsizing, you want a cottage feel. I loved the fireplace in the living room. And then the garden room. I thought that was lovely. The house is over budget, but I would have to decorate. I would have to take that into account. And it depends if it was the house we wanted, whether there was any leeway.
I'm a little concerned about the little bit of garden. It's our responsibility on the other side of the road. It looks as though it might be a bit of a problem. But the main garden here could be good.
Ah, look at my new friend.
Yes.
Hello. So, all done?
Yes.
Happy?
Yes.
Yes.
You'd be happy if it were cheaper. Come on, let's go find another one.
Peter couldn't have chosen a better county than Staffordshire to find his dream garden, as it plays host to some of the finest formal examples in the country. Designed in the early 19th century by the architect behind the Houses of Parliament, Charles Barry, the historic Trentham Gardens have been recently restored. With Peter's passion for gardening in mind, we sent the couple to meet estate manager Michael Walker. But it's the ruined hall that's caught the eye of Christine.
Well, Peter and Christine, welcome to the Trentham estate. It's a pleasure to see you both here.
What did the house look like in its heyday?
At its zenith, in Victorian times, the architecture was influenced by the Grand Tour of the time. And effectively, it was a Georgian house remodelled with a Victorian Italianate facade. And it was very grand, it was very large.
Whilst there are plans to restore the Victorian hall to its former glory, the Italianate gardens have already been rescued by Michael and his team.
Why was it so important to reinstate the Italian gardens?
This was a very forlorn, very neglected area. So we started our process of restoration then, and what we were trying to do was to restore the footprint of the original garden, but to give it an entirely new lease of life. And what was perhaps most significant about the Italian garden in Victorian times was that at its time it was a garden which was renowned for innovation and plantsmanship. Charles Barry was no gardener, he was an architect, and he depended entirely on the great skills of a very celebrated head gardener at the time, who was George Fleming. George Fleming was renowned for creating new trends of gardening, seasonal bedding displays, ribbon bedding, carpet bedding. And today, our restoration of the gardens has tried to replenish the gardens in a very contemporary way, which has moved them forward.
As well as opening up pathways and making it more accessible, the new design included the planting of thousands of perennials, so the garden is never bare. There are currently 9 full-time members of staff and an army of volunteers, which is handy, as both Peter and Christine are keen to offer their services when they move here. But first, we need to find them a new home, and with that in mind, it's back to the house hunt. For our second property, we're venturing 15 miles northeast to the village of Alton, which is still within an hour from both Peter and Christine's children. Although famous for the nearby theme park, Alton itself is a vibrant local village with many historic buildings, including a handful of handsome pubs. The village also has a local legend, and I'm taking Peter and Christine to the woods just outside Alton to tell them all about it.
Now, what do you know about Alton?
Other than Alton Towers, been once before.
The theme park is here.
Yes.
It was also home to the Earl of Shrewsbury, and this track was the track that led to his ancestral pile. And the story goes that back in 1821, he was coming up here late one night and he met this beggar on the side of the road who asked him for some money, some coin, and he refused, and the beggar was furious. So he placed a curse on the Earl and his family. He said, that oak up there, whenever a branch falls off it, a member of your family will die. And just a few days later, a branch fell off, and sure enough, one of the Earl's family members died. So, to put pay to this curse, the Earl had it chained up. It's now known as the chained oak. Can you see these chains that are hanging there?
Yeah.
So, spooky stories apart, will our property number 2 entice you to make Alton your home?
Yes. Will
Well,
we
we'll
be
just
changed?
have to wait and see.
Come on then.
Leaving legends behind, our second property is just a short drive from the woods.
That is what I want you to look at.
Yes.
What do you think of our property number 2?
I like it. Solid character.
Yeah? Quite handsome, isn't it?
Stone built.
Looks good from the outside.
But there is one confession I have to kind of get off my chest now, and that is that I'm afraid it is a semi-detached, technically. You can't see it from here.
No.
And that's why we've taken a gamble on this one, because the whole focus of this property is that way, over toward the grounds and the woods beyond. So I think this is well worth you thinking about. And having Alton on your doorstep, let's face it, it's such a lovely, lovely place.
Is.
Come on.
Right.
I'm glad Christine isn't put off by our second property's semi-detached status. Built from locally quarried stone, the two-gabled house dates back to the 18th century and was once part of the Earl of Shrewsbury's estate.
Come in, Christine. Right, we'll start with the dining room. This is the thing that greets you when you first come in. What do you think?
Nice. No, I like it. It's just when you walk in, it's different, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
just got to sort of absorb it and.
Well, this is very much in the centre of the property.
Right.
So everything else kind of runs off of here. Yes, but you've also got that glazed kind of porch arrangement there. And it also leads off into a utility room, great for the dog and all that sort of stuff. The kitchen is this way. There you go. All mod cons. Come on in, Peter.
It's very nice.
Yeah?
Yes. Compact.
Granite worktops.
It's
I like the sound.
nicely finished.
It's really nicely finished. You've got the granite tops. Yeah. I'm a bit worried about Peter. You're very quiet, mate.
Yes, it's, there again, it's like the first property. It's getting used to the downsize part, but it's quite adequate. It's okay. Yeah.
Well, let's see what you think, Peter, of the living room. I'm hoping it might give you a little bit more space. Come on then, Peter.
Oh, I like this. Isn't this nice?
Yes, nice and cosy.
Oh, I like this.
Open fire.
Yes, open fire.
Look at all the windows, though.
Yeah.
Plenty of. I love the beams. It's like being at home again.
I mean, I know we're talking about downsizing. I actually think this is
I think
a pretty
this is
good room.
a nice size.
Yeah.
This isn't downsizing. It's a nice size.
Well, I'm really delighted. I think this property is beginning to work its magic, isn't it?
I think it is. And I need Pete to speak.
Yes, I think we're getting there. We're getting there.
Come on then, let's get upstairs.
There are currently 4 bedrooms in this property, one more than they asked for. 3 of those are doubles, one of which is currently being used as a study, and there is 1 single. They're all serviced by a large family bathroom.
And then this is your bit, we think.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, nice size room.
There is only one thing that it doesn't have.
Ensuite.
Ensuite.
Sweet.
Look at the look. That's the headmistress look. Do you get that a lot?
I get it a lot.
Okay. I feel like I'm properly told off now.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, sorry, miss. Well, you could always take the end room, the double, and make the other box room an ensuite next to it.
What a good idea.
How about that?
Yeah, the thought.
You know,
Well, these
easy
are
done.
things to think about, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm saving the best till last day for you, Peter.
All right.
Come and have a look at the garden. Come on.
The property sits in around 1 acre of terraced woodland gardens, with plenty of trees and shrubs to keep Peter happy.
So as you can see, Peter, it's a very different proposition to our first garden.
Yes.
This whole kind of terraced arrangement, the stone walls, the woods beyond.
Yes, it's not going to ever be a manicured garden,
No.
but it's very pleasant and.
But it's got that
The
nice woodland feel,
Yes, the
isn't it?
mature trees are really nice.
Yeah. So, how much do we think this property is worth, Christine?
It's going to be top towards 400.
400, says Christine.
I would really push to 385.
385. You see the optimism always with Peter. I love it. Well, you're not far off, the pair of you. This is on the market for £390,000.
Yes.
So you were, you know...
Not far.
Not far off at all.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Better.
Well, that's brought a smile to your face, hasn't it? Excellent, yeah. Well, I think you should now spend a bit of time. We have plenty of it. Go and explore it.
Right.
And I'll catch up with you later.
OK.
Off you go.
On the market at £390,000, our second property comes in £10,000 under Peter and Christine's maximum budget. It's a semi-detached stone cottage built in the 18th century. The accommodation includes a contemporary kitchen and large living area. There are 4 bedrooms and there's scope to turn one into an ensuite. And the house comes with an acre of secluded woodland garden.
This one is supposed to be the second bedroom.
Yeah.
But if we made this the master, you could not knock it down, but you could actually
Put a door.
put a door through. When you came inside, I love the lounge. It's light, it's got the beams, it's got the open fire where you can put a log burner in. And then when we went upstairs, to have 4 bedrooms instead of 3 was a real plus, even though it was a semi-detached. It doesn't feel like a semi-detached.
I like the garden. It's a large area, plenty of work to do in it to keep it tidy. So from that aspect, I'm quite happy with it.
Aha! Here we are, enjoying the view.
Enjoying the view
Yeah.
of the house and the valley.
Is it all working then, Peter?
Seems to be, yes.
You have had your arm twisted.
Yes. Just slightly.
Good. I think this was a nice one to end the day on.
It is.
It's been good fun, isn't it?
It has. It's a nice house.
Yeah. Right, come on then. Let's go and get a cold beer.
Sounds,
After you.
sounds good.
I'll treat you. How about that?
Oh, yes.
It's the second day of our property search, and with a budget of £400,000, we're helping Peter and Christine leave the noise of their town life in the northeast for the serenity of Staffordshire. Coming up, our mystery house leaves Christine speechless,
Go on, Peter. Put some words into Christine's mouth.
and I help shed some light on the Dark Ages.
And they're doing this 1,300 years ago. Now, when it comes to selecting our much-awaited final property of the week, our mystery house, in truth, it's never really an exact science. Sometimes we set out to challenge our buyers, sometimes we end up just confusing them, but on this occasion, I think we need to reward them. One theme has emerged that is perfectly clear, and that is that the business of downsizing for Christine and Peter is proving a little bit tricky. So clearly we need something that offers them much more space, both inside and out. But on this occasion, we're going to have to travel a little bit further to get it. So how are we all feeling then, Peter and Christine?
Excited.
Good, that's good. Chrissy's not saying a word. How excited are you?
Excited, a bit apprehensive at the same time.
Well, I wouldn't be apprehensive. I mean, the mystery house is always there to hopefully push the boundaries a little bit.
I think maybe for the mystery house it could well be a thatched barn conversion with a project.
For our mystery house, we're crossing the border into Shropshire and heading to the market town of Ironbridge. Sitting on the banks of the River Severn at the bottom of a wooded valley, Ironbridge's claim to fame is being the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. But the factories have long since gone and nature has taken over. The town itself is packed full of history. Many of the homes of the ironworkers and their masters have been beautifully restored. Our mystery house is located on a quiet narrow lane overlooking the town. As well as being in a different county to the one Peter and Christine wanted to live in, this property does have its challenges, like the garden. Built into the side of the gorge and on many different levels, will it be a step too far for Peter?
Wow. Come on, have a look. It's not thatched, is it? That's what you thought?
But it's a cottage and it's got chimney pots and it's got a view.
The view over Ironbridge Gorge down there is just stunning. Yeah. Now, yesterday, of course, we were in Staffordshire and we were about half an hour from your son and about an hour from your daughter. We've flipped it over this time because we've come over the border into Shropshire, obviously. So we're about half an hour from your daughter and about an hour from your son.
Yes.
So we have balanced it out. And in terms of the garden, Peter, I mean, just take a look up there.
Yes, the garden looks quite a challenge.
I think it's more of a pruning operation rather than a mowing operation.
Yeah, the thing about pruning is a little bit can be done at a time, whereas the grass has all got to be cut to keep it tidy. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm really excited about showing you this one because I just think in terms of location and what it offers you, very rare to get a property like this in Ironbridge up for sale. Well, I told you there's lots to see, there's a lot of space, we better get a move on. Come on.
Well, the terrace garden with its variety of shrubs and bushes hasn't put Peter off, but for Christine, it's all about the house. And I'm dying to see how she'll react to our Victorian cottage.
Right, on the way through, we find this. How about it?
Log burner,
Yeah?
open fire.
Look at the study in there, Peter. Yeah?
That's very nice.
I like the double doors.
And then this is the living room, which I'm hoping will be just that little bit bigger than what we've had before.
I love the fireplace.
And another open fire.
Oh, this is a good sign, Christine.
That's a nice room, isn't it?
Oh, how about that? I don't think I've ever had a reaction like that as quickly as we've come into a house. It's gorgeous, isn't it? You can see why I was so excited to show this to you. Maybe this is the one, Peter.
Maybe.
Oh, bless you. Go on, Peter. Put some words into Christine's mouth.
It is a very nice room. It's nicely lit, and the
It's a
open
nice
fire
atmosphere.
sets it off.
Yeah.
Wooden floor, you know.
I could see you in here.
French windows out into the garden.
Yeah. And it's such a lovely approach, that, isn't it? It does overwhelm you a bit. I love it. Right, gather yourself together. I'm going to show you the kitchen.
Oh dear.
What will you make of this? Come on. Come on, Christine.
Oh, wow.
Oh yes.
God.
You're going again. You're going again. Come on, take it all in. It's gorgeous.
It is, it's lovely. I love it. My colour.
Look up there.
Oh,
And I mean, when you look, it's just gorgeous. I mean, you look up there. Really clever.
Oh, right up at the skylight, yeah.
oh, wow.
Just be careful what skirt you're wearing, Christine, when you're
I
wearing
thought you were talking about Pete there. Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, it's lovely.
Well, our mystery house seems to have worked its magic again. In addition to the kitchen, there's also a pantry and a spacious utility room. But let's see if we get the same reaction upstairs, where there are 4 bedrooms in total, all of them doubles, along with 3 bathrooms.
Now, plenty up here to show you. That's a really nice guest room there.
That's nice.
Pretty, isn't it?
It is.
I've
Yeah.
Have a nice view out there as well.
This is the famous light panel
Oh, yes.
with the
Right.
toughened glass.
So it
Just
is-
as well for my
It is
way.
safe to walk over.
Just to prove it, they are. Okay.
Okay.
And then in here you've got another beautiful guest room.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
And then follow me this way. Your room. Ensuite shower room.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And all of
Oh,
this
wow.
is your master.
Lovely. What a lovely size.
As we saw on the way in, you had a nice glimpse at the garden and there's plenty of that to explore. Yeah? Come on.
What a lovely feel, though.
Outside, a series of paths lead you from terrace to terrace, with lawned, paved and gravelled areas. There's also an impressive vegetable patch towards the top. The garden includes several seating spots, ideal for entertaining in the summer.
The house, Christine, I think has had quite an effect on you, hasn't it, really?
Don't get me started.
Don't get you going again, right. Well, let's see what effect the price has, shall we? I'm going to get you to explore the garden after this, but let's talk about the price. It's our last price guess of the week. I'm going to keep you firmly here, stop you falling over. So you can start, Peter.
I can start, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm the optimistic one.
Exactly, you're the optimist. Yeah.
And I'm going to say 430.
430, yeah, Christine?
450.
450. It would absolutely break your heart if it was 450, wouldn't it?
Yes.
That's why it's 395. How about that?
Lovely.
You can do it.
I know.
Yeah. Go on. Go and take your time. Explore that garden. Well, Mystery House has done it once again. How often do we say that? I'm often asked by people on Escape to the Country, how many of our properties would I like to buy? Well, let me let you into a little secret. This is one of them.
On the market at £395,000, our Mystery House is just under their maximum budget. It's a Victorian cottage nestling on the side of Ironbridge Gorge. The property has been extended over the years and features large reception areas, including a spacious living room for entertaining. There are 4 double bedrooms upstairs for when the family come to stay, and outside, the garden is large and terraced, with views across the historic gorge.
I like the log burner.
Yes, there's a nice big log burner for the size of the room as well.
Put the blue sofa in there, the white one, and then put the computer up.
Yeah.
Well, it was emotional, I think, and I really could feel the tears coming, and I was really trying to fight it.
The house didn't have the same effect emotionally on me as it did Christine, but very nicely laid out inside. The top end of the budget price of the house would concern me slightly.
Worth coming to our Mystery House, then?
Yes.
Right. Well, it is now time for you to go away and try and make sense of it all. Boy, have you got some thinking to do.
Yes.
Come on.
Peter and Christine have a specific price range in mind for their move to Staffordshire, but for those on a different budget, here's a selection on offer. On the market at just under £240,000, how about this 2-bedroom property in a converted sawmill in the village of Ingustry? The interior includes this light kitchen diner and a master bedroom with vaulted ceiling and exposed beams. Delving a bit deeper into your pocket could get you this 3-bedroom house in Great Bridgeford, on the market for offers in excess of £320,000. It features a cosy living room and large master bedroom. The price also includes a detached outbuilding in the grounds. Finally, this 4-bedroom Grade 2 listed barn conversion in the village of Barnhay is on the market for £575,000. Set in half an acre of gardens, the property has a number of character features, including exposed timbers. The master bedroom with its high ceiling is the most impressive room, but there's also a large kitchen diner and a snug. With my background in archaeology, I'm particularly excited about being in Staffordshire, since the farmland around Lichfield is where one of the most significant finds in recent years was made. Unearthed by metal detector enthusiast Terry Herbert in 2009, the Staffordshire Hoard is the largest collection of Anglo-Saxon gold and silver ever found. The discovery is beginning to shed light on the 7th and 8th centuries, when present-day Staffordshire was part of the Kingdom of Mercia. I've come to the Potteries Museum and Art Gallery in Stoke-on-Trent to find out what researchers have revealed so far. I'm meeting fellow archaeologist, collections officer Deb Klemperer.
Now, for anybody not familiar with the idea of a hoard, or indeed the Staffordshire Hoard, just tell us a bit more about what it is.
It's a group of material which has turned out to be nearly 4,000 items, some far tinier than my little fingernail. And they're nearly all gold or silver, so all precious metal. And we still don't know why this was put into the ground at the time it was, which is about 650 AD, or why that spot was picked. But it's a fascinating group of material, and we're researching it even as we speak.
So the reason for it being buried still remains a mystery?
There's a lot of work going on. There's some ideas already. One of the ideas is that it is, in fact, battle booty. This has been discussed quite a bit. Nearly all of it is male warrior bling, so a sort of fittings from swords.
Bling. That's a technical archaeological term, isn't it?
It's quite a good way to describe it. It's very glittery and beautiful, and most of it's sword fittings.
Although the hoard is comprised mainly of military pieces, many of the items feature beautiful garnet inlays and elaborately designed animals. There is still much debate surrounding its meaning, but experts have discovered an extraordinary level of craftsmanship and attention to detail in the pieces. Down in the museum's basement, conservator Peter Greaves is cleaning some of them.
They are staggeringly beautiful, but I guess you also get into the mind of the people that made them.
Well, yeah, the big thing about conservation is, yes, we're revealing what things look like, but it's also the intricate detail of how they made it, the effort they put into it.
The level of workmanship is absolutely extraordinary. Can we have a look at that piece there? That is absolutely astonishing.
So in close-up, you can see it's a snake figure. You can see his little head at the top and his body that scrolls down.
But I suppose the most eye-catching pieces are these beautifully coloured ones with this lovely inlay.
Yeah.
This is obviously a bit of a work in progress.
It is.
Okay, so can we have a close look at that one?
Okay, and this is one that I've started cleaning today. And yes, it's made from these big garnets, and then they're set into these gold cells. What we can see is in the bottom cell, there's some gold foil. And what that's doing is that when the garnet is set in through, it reflects the light back through, giving them this beautiful shine.
And they're doing this 1,300 years ago.
Absolutely.
That is absolutely astonishing.
Researchers will continue to work on decoding the hoard over the next few years. In the meantime, perhaps it's beginning to show us that the period known as the Dark Ages wasn't so dark after all.
Well, as we have learnt, this is an enormous move for this couple, in particular for Peter, a man not given over to moving house at all, really, during his life. But I am confident we have given them plenty of tempting options. So the question is, what happens next? Well, they're enjoying a cup of tea. Let's go and ask them. Well, I think there is probably one main contender on the list, and that is our mystery house. Am I right?
Definitely, absolutely fabulous.
So just tell me why it's touched a nerve with you.
It was the emotional and actually seeing the house itself.
Yeah.
It was a lovely setting. It was just a gut feeling, and that's what you do, isn't it? A house is a home from the heart.
It is indeed. A home from the heart. Well said. Now then, Peter, having found you, your ideal home, what happens next?
I think what happens next is we go and look hard at our finances and discuss it with the children.
You're not going to say no, are you, to Christine?
It would be a first.
Well, both of you, it's been a real pleasure this week. We've had a lot of fun, and I'm delighted that we've whetted your appetite for this part of the world, and, I think, found you some wonderful properties, one of which, let's hope, will be your new home. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jules.
Thank you very much.
Well, we started off in Staffordshire and we've ended up in Shropshire. Sometimes that is just the way it goes. But thankfully now all the hard work is done. Our searches are over, and with any luck, Peter and Christine now have a fabulous new home to look forward to. But let's not underestimate the scale of the move they are making. They're coming a long way from everything they have known and loved thus far. But as Christine said of our mystery house, it felt like home, just as I hoped it would. I'll see you next time.
Peter and Christine returned to the mystery house with their daughter. And although they loved the property, on reflection, Peter felt the terrace garden would be too much of a challenge for him in the years to come. So their search continues. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, England, Northern Ireland, or even further afield to the continent and would like our help, then please visit bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.